and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video we're going to be doing some more gel polish nail art. This particular design was part of a recent Charlie's Nail Art collaboration and the theme was negative space. So this was the design that I come up with. As you can see, I'm working on some display tips today and I wanted to have a transparent base for my particular negative space nails. So I'm coming in with this gorgeous colour from Kiki London. This is their French pink and it's kind of designed to be applied over the natural nail bed when you're doing a classic French design. But I thought it worked really well for this particular look. As you can see, it's very sheer, so you're not going to get any coverage from it, but it's fab if you wanted a glass pink effect nail. So I popped that first coat of colour into Cure for 30 seconds and then I'm coming in with the second coat of colour. Now I do also have a discount code for Kiki London which I will leave in the description box below. Same goes for Charlie's Nail Art as well, so do check the description box for all of the products and any discount codes that I have. Now on to the next part of the design, I wanted to come in with some foils. Now whenever I'm applying patterned or full coverage foils, I like to pop a similar base colour down underneath them. So I'm applying this gorgeous blue gel polish, it's another Kiki London one, and I'm just placing that down wherever I'm going to be applying my foils. So like I said, the theme was negative space, so I don't want to cover this whole nail with this foil. I'm just leaving the centre part of the nail as that clear negative space section. I just come in with my Kiki London striped liner brush. I love this brush. I use it in nearly every gel polish set that I do now. So if you're looking for some nail art brushes, I highly would recommend the new Kiki London ones. Just doing exactly the same at the very tip of the nail. I don't need to worry about applying 2 coats of this colour because like I said, you're not going to be seeing it. It's just in case there's any gaps or breakages in my foil. So I pop that in to Cure and then I'm wiping off the tacky layer. Now I'm wiping off the tacky layer because I only want my foils to go where I apply my foil gel. So I'm using the Goddess foil gel from Nirvana Nail Supplies and I'm going to simply paint this over the blue gel polish. Trying to keep it as neat as possible. I don't want to take any down on to that negative space part of the nail, but if you did get any on there you could wipe it off with some alcohol, or if you noticed it was on there after you've applied your foils, you can remove your foils with a tiny bit of acetone. So once I've applied that foil gel, I'm going to pop this in to Cure for 30 seconds and then when it comes out of the lamp it has a super tacky layer which is perfect for applying the foils too. And this is the gorgeous foil I'm going to be using. So as you can see, it's called Ring Around a Roses and it's from Charlie's Nail Art. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up my foil and just trying to pick a part of the foil that I want to use before I press it down. Then when I'm happy with how it's positioned, I'm placing it straight down on top of that foil gel and I'm really rubbing it into place. As you can see, I'm just using my thumb to do this. Now, whenever I apply foils, I like to come in and just work it into place using my thumb to begin with. And then I like to switch between my silicone tool and a metal cuticle pusher just to make sure that that foil has really adhered to the nail. Now, this was a little bit tricky on the display tip, so that's why I ended up taking it off the stand. And it was just because it was that little bit more harder to be able to really apply any pressure to the tip, that's why it was a little bit more tricky. But once I felt as though it had adhered well, I'm starting to peel it back. It was a little bit stubborn here, so I'm just taking my time. I don't want to rip it completely off fast because then if any hasn't transferred, it's going to be hard to press the foil back down in the correct place. So that's why I'm just slowly peeling it back, and then if you have got an area that's a little bit more stubborn, you're able to spend a little bit more time pressing that down. So this particular patch here was quite stubborn, so I'm just coming back over it. I know that it eventually will transfer, so I'm just giving it a little bit more time and then I rip it off and we've got perfect full coverage. As you can see here, there's a few teeny tiny gaps and that's why I had the blue gel polish underneath. So I'm going to do the very same at the tip of the nail. It was easier to cut off the excess rather than trying to rub it all down. And then I'm just going to do exactly the same. So I'm making sure to apply as much pressure as I can to really work that foil into the tacky foil gel underneath. And I do apologise for any noise in the background. I'm waiting to pick my daughter up, and it kind of was just the perfect opportunity to try and get the voiceover done as I was early for picking her up. But it's a bit of a noisy road, unfortunately. So this is what the nail looked like once I'd applied the foils. I then wanted to finish it off with a little bit of striping tape. So I'm coming in with this silver bendy striping tape, and I'm just placing that down just so that there's a neater line. You could do this with gel polish or even some crystals, but I opted to use the bendy striping tape today. Now to begin with, I'm going to cut this off at the sides because you don't want any excess overhanging, but I do also like to come in and then file the sides as well, just so you don't have that little bit of bulkiness from the tip of the striping tape. So I will show you that as we get further along in the video, but to begin with, I just cut it as close to the nail as I can. And I love this bendy striping tape. You can get this in lots of different nail art supply shops, but this particular one is from the Crystal Studio. As always, I will leave all of the products listed below. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and top coat. So I'm using my Kiki London rubber top coat for this. I love this top coat because it's a rubber top coat, it's a little bit thicker, so it just encapsulates everything nicely. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a buffer. You could use a buffer or a nail file. Just don't use anything with a too harsh grit. And then I'm just filing the sides to remove any of that excess striping tape. And this just helps bring back the crisp shape to the nail that you've done. So I like to spend a bit of time doing this. I don't want to file into the nail too much. That's why I opted to use the buffer. But it makes the world of difference because it just removes that little bit extra striping tape that you might not necessarily be able to get with the scissors. Then I'm going to clean away all of the dust, and I will re-top coat this now further along in the video. Moving on to the second nail in the design, I wanted this nail to be a full coverage of that foil. So I'm coming in with one coat of the Kiki London. I believe this one's called Sea Blue, but I'll double check and leave it below. Popping that in to cure for 30 seconds, then I'm applying a thin coat of the foil gel. Now the foil gel is a little bit thick and it has a bit of a sticky consistency, so I do like to run over it a few times just to make sure it's nice and smooth. But this has been my favourite foil gel. I haven't tried too many, but I love this one, so I've just stuck with this one. Once I've popped that in to cure for 30 seconds, I'm applying my foil, and as you can see, I've just placed that straight down onto the nail. I'm really rubbing it in, working out all of the creases, and then I'm going to switch it up and come in with my silicone tool. Again, this is just a little bit easier at times than your thumb, but I like to alternate between all three. So my thumb, the silicone tool, and the cuticle pusher. Obviously, some foils transfer easier than others, and it does depend on what foils you're using and what foil glue or gel you're using. But when I'm working on the practice tips especially, I do feel as though the foils need that little bit more help, and that's why I like to use the cuticle pusher. And then once again, this transferred absolutely beautifully. We got pretty much, I'd say 99% coverage. So that's that now done. I'm going to come back and top coat it further along in the video. So on the next nail, I've already done 2 coats of the French pink, so exactly the same as what we done on the first nail. But because I'm going to be doing some hand painting over the top of this one, I decided I would come in and matte top coat it. So I've applied a thin coat of the Kiki London matte top coat, and it looks absolutely amazing matte. I ended up going for all glossy in this particular set, but I definitely feel as though I'm feeling a set of nails with this French pink with the matte top coat, because I love that frosted rose look that it's giving off. So then I went through my Kiki London colours and I picked out a couple that matched the foils. So I went for a blue, a red and a light pink. And then I'm just painting on sections because I wanted at least one of the nails to represent that negative space effect a little bit more. So I've just used my stripe liner brush. I've done 2 coats of each colour on each of the sections just so that they really pop against that transparent background. So as you can see, I'm taking that stripe liner brush and I'm just drawing out. I wanted to go for curved shapes. And then I'm just colouring them in with the bottle of the brush from the brush from the bottle of the gel polish. And then I'm going to cure each coat for 30 seconds and then come in and do a second coat of colour. Now, I haven't done too many negative space nails, and I'm not 100% sure if I felt as though this particular nail fit in this set, but I wanted to include it just because the theme was negative space nails and I didn't just want to do the one nail with the foil. So this now has a fairly simple design. So I'm now going to come in and do pretty much exactly the same, but I'm using, I think this colour is called Blush, but again, I'm not at my nail desk, so I can't double check, but I will leave it all linked in the description box below. But I'm just coming in and creating another circular shape. I like to work quite thin with my gel polish on the first coat of colour, and then I can just pop a second coat down, and that's going to really make the colour pop. But I'm just trying to get it as neat as possible with my brush. I haven't done loads of hand painting, as you guys probably know from my channel, but I'm really trying to push myself and just get more use out of my nail art brushes and my gel polishes, because on my own channel I do a lot more acrylic sets, but over on the Kiki London channel I do upload videos every Friday, so do head on over there if you want to watch more of my gel polish designs. But I just thought this week I'd try and get a few more gel polish ones up on my own channel. And I love gel polish. You can create so many nice designs. I think I just need to have a little bit more confidence in practicing my hand painting and not worrying so much that it looks absolute crap, because you know, it's progression, not perfection, and the more you practice the better you're going to become. But I do get a bit defeated when it comes to hand painting because it's not something that has come natural to me. So again, I'm just working through this design. I wanted to make sure I left quite a lot of negative space in the center of the nail, so I've just been working my way around the edges of the nail. Now, if you were more confident with your gel polish, you wouldn't have to cure these as you go, like as you do each colour. You could do all of the sections first coat, pop them into cure, and then do all of the sections second coat. I was kind of doing it the long way around just because I was worried about smudging something or making any mistakes and needing to wipe it off. So now I'm using just a tiny bit of red, just because there was a little bit of red in those foils. So I wanted to add some into this nail just to try and tie it into the design a little bit more. This particular red from Kiki London is super highly pigmented, so I did only do one coat of the red. Then once I'd popped that red into cure, I did decide I wanted to add a little bit of glitter to this design. So I've taken one of the new colours from the Spring Bling collection. This one is called Romantic Spark. And I'm just going to go around the pink circles with this one. And then once I'm happy with that, I'll pop that into cure, and that's this design finally finished, minus top coating, which I'm going to top coat all of the nails at the end of the video together. I did consider leaving just the base matte on this nail, but I felt as though it would have been too time consuming painting over all of the colours in a glossy top coat. But I do think that would look really nice as well with the matte frosted pink colour, or sorry, it's called French pink, and then the colours on the top. Moving on to the fourth nail in this design, I wanted to keep it simple, so I'm just going to come in with a full glitter nail. This is another one of the brand new colours from Kiki London. They recently launched a Spring Bling collection, which consists of 8 glitter gel polishes. So this one here is called Blue Lagoon, and it's absolutely stunning. So I've done 2 coats of that, and then this is all of our designs complete. So we're ready to come in and top coat. Now I'm top coating using the Kiki London rubber top coat. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I love this top coat when I'm working over any kind of nail art because it's slightly thicker. It just seals everything in perfectly. So I'm just going to apply a nice even layer of this to all of the nails. I like to kind of work it in. I like to play around with it or just brush it out a little bit more than a regular top coat where it is that a little bit thicker. And then you just get a nice even layer of product. Then once that's applied, I'm going to pop this in to cure for 60 seconds and I'll be ready to reveal the final result to you guys. So as I said, this set was part of a Charlie's Nail Art collaboration. If you would like to take part in any of the Charlie's Nail Art collaborations, I will leave all the information in the description box below, so do check that out. Now I really hope you all enjoyed watching. If you did, then please give the video a thumbs up or leave me a comment below. If you're watching and you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you did. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you're all doing okay and keeping safe and well, and I really hope that wherever you are, you're slowly getting back a little bit more normality. Slowly here in England we are, and I'm so very grateful for that. But once again, thank you all so much for watching. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.